Creating wealth is a longish process. First of all, you have to understand that we are all trustees of the money which we inherit, to which we add, and which we will leave for our children, right? So Mahatma Gandhi created this word. He said a businessman is just a trustee of the wealth, which is so true, because you are a trustee for the heirloom that you got. You got 100 from your dad or from your parents. You added another 500 to it, and you spend something. After all that, you added 500, and you're leaving 600 to your son, and your son or daughter is going to leave and maybe 3,000 for their kids, right? That is how family heirloom and wealth gets created. So wealth creation, if anything, is a longish process of decades, if not centuries and generations, right? So you're in the process. And so what are the things which are required for the process? First is you require knowledge, right? Make no mistake, you require knowledge. So reading is very important. Understanding the wealth creation process, it comes right from the family. So right from your KG class, if you have been told that equity markets are dangerous, taking risk is not allowed, it cannot happen, we don't need too much money, we need to do roti or dal chahiye, thoda dahi bhat chahiye, whatever your family has been telling you, or has your family been telling you equities is the way to go, we have made money in equities, all our wealth is because we made money in equities. So that process starts right at the cradle. I wouldn't even go to KG class. So the question is, did you get that atmosphere of people talking positively about wealth, or did you get stories about saying, during Harshad Mehta's scam, this uncle lost money, during Ketan Parikh's time, this guy got lost money. So if you're in that atmosphere, chances are you will not be too much into wealth. Also, the thing is, you have to read, but reading alone is not sufficient. So I keep saying that if reading were to make you successful, I think enough people have said this, then librarians would be rich. Or having a fantastic knowledge of accounting, then your accountant will be richer than you are, right? So it is necessary to have knowledge, but you have to be able to put it into practice. Reading what a Buffett does or reading what Elon Musk does is fantastic, it's good knowledge, but the question is how much of that will you be able to implement in your life to create wealth. That is important. That zen for action is important. It is not enough just you read, right? So you say, oh, I've read everything and now I will start investing, I'm 82 years of age. You have no time for compounding. You don't even know whether you will live till 83, right? So there is no point in doing that. So you have to learn, you have to be educated, you have to have good friends to guide you, good books to guide you, whatever. YouTube, I'm not saying only book does not mean book, right? Book means your source of learning. It could be a YouTube video, it could be a YouTube video summarizing the content of a book. It could be any of those things, or a book reading session which you attended, which you liked, and therefore you bought the book and read it. Any of these things can happen, right? So that is what I'm saying is there has to be bias for action. Second, there has to be focus on this process of wealth creation, saying I started here, I want to reach here, and this is the process which I will do. Because if there is no focus, especially today, we got it lucky. 40 years back, there were not so many distractions. I doubt whether I can write code today, because I would be tempted by what's happening on Twitter, who is saying what, and right, the diversions are too much, which means very important whether you are trying to make money or whether you are trying to make a career. Like a Virat Kohli, there has to be total, complete focus on the process. Here we are talking of concentrating on the process of creating wealth, which means earning well, spending less, investing in the right asset classes, right? It could be, it was equity for me, it could be cryptocurrency for you. I'm not getting into what asset class, but some asset class is important. That focus that I need to create wealth, right? The focus that for a Virat Kohli, the focus has to be his cricket performance. Then there is somebody else who will get him the endorsement, somebody who will decide how much he should charge per tweet. That is all outsourceable, but the focus on your main source of income, on your wealth creation, the beginning which happened for Sachin or Dhoni or for Virat Kohli, it is cricket. You cannot take your eyes off the ball. So whether it is the focus on your career and the focus on your wealth creation, that focus has to be there, and it has to be absolutely total. So once there is this kind of a focus, then you also have to have the question is not of self-discipline when you start your career. It's obviously you will have self-discipline, especially if you're serious about your career. So whether it is a Sania Mirza or a Saina Nehwal or a Virat Kohli or a Sachin Tendulkar or a Roger Federer or a Maria Sharapova, they've all really sacrificed their youth. They brought in a lot of self-discipline into what they did. Now transferring a part of that self-discipline, whatever field you are in, maybe you're a chartered accountant, maybe you're a doctor, maybe you're a surgeon, bringing that concentration which you put into your career here and the self-discipline to say, I will do it. I will not skip my SIP. I will not skip my EMI if I bought assets with borrowing. That discipline which is necessary. And I also keep saying that discipline should become a habit. I don't come and tell you, look, I'm so disciplined. I get up every morning and brush my teeth. Right? Brushing my teeth is not about discipline. Once upon a time, maybe when I was 2 years old, it was a question of discipline. My mom would say, if you don't brush your teeth, I will not give you milk. Yes, maybe. And maybe she would hold my mouth and brush my teeth, maybe. But today, I don't say I'm disciplined that I make my bed when I get up, or that I brush my teeth, or I take bath every day. That is not, it is a habit, it gets built in. So wealth creation should get built into the family. This is very important. So you can say this is self-discipline, but I would think that self-discipline should become a habit. For a Sachin Tendulkar or a Virat Kohli, even Virat Kohli, of course, he's there he's in the thick of it. But even for Sachin Tendulkar today, I'm sure he is doing some fitness routine, which has become a habit. He does not claim, oh, I get up every morning and go for a 40-minute run, right? It has become part of his life. So I'm sure he's got a treadmill at home, which when it's raining, he doesn't want to go out. He does it on that. So some kind of a physical routine, right? Also the expertise, here is the distinction which I want to make. One is the expertise of learning, right? You learned it, you learned things, you got the knowledge. Second is implementing it. So if you are an investor, you need to know accounting. There is no doubt about it. You need to understand. But you may not know accounting the way a chartered accountant does. You may not know there are international accounting standards and domestic Indian accounting standards and all that, how it is implemented. You may not know it in so much of detail, but over the years you have learned how to read a balance sheet. You have developed those skills, right? If you don't develop those skills don't come up. They don't come up automatically. You have to be educated and you have to know how to implement it. And similarly, an accountant and an auditor both learn the same things, but accountant develops the skills of being an accountant, and the auditor develops the skills of being an auditor. An income tax chartered accountant with income tax knowledge, when he's practicing income tax, is very different from a chartered accountant who is working in a company doing income tax, GST, everything. This man is more specialized, but he also has the expertise, right? He has also gone in, he's argued, he's done all that. So he is also got, so that translating your knowledge into expertise. For example, a physician and a surgeon both get their MBBS degree. After that, one person does surgery and other person does more diagnostics. So you could be an MD medicine and you could be a physician, and or you could be a surgeon who is actually implementing all that. So the person who is implementing that, he has to look after the overall health of the person and all that. So he is actually doing the surgery. The physician does not have that expertise, right? So having a knowledge and using it, right, that translating your accounting knowledge to reading a balance sheet and finding the quality of the promoter, that is expertise. That is not just reading. It doesn't come from saying, oh, I've read the whole, I know of what journal entry to pass when a transaction happens. That's great, that's fantastic, that's important. Implementing it, reading it, understanding it, asking the right questions to find out what is actually being hidden, right? So I keep saying this, everybody makes a CV, right, a biodata, which is not vetted by anybody, and it comes to you. And when it comes to me, I have to be able to read through and ask from here to here, you change this job to this job, was there a gap in between? In India, people will never answer this truthfully. The question is to say, can you get me your can you show me both the letters, can you show me your relieving letter and your appointment letter. If there is a gap, tell me there is a gap, because to me lying is a far dangerous offense, right? So simple things. So you read the balance sheet and try to understand what is happening. Next comes the most important thing, that is risk management. There is some huge word called risk. There is a huge word called volatility. If you are a long-term player, volatility should not bother you, but risk should. You should know what money should be kept where, what is the long-term money. The money which you require after 30 years should not be kept in the savings bank account, and the money which you require after maybe 30 days should be in the savings bank account. So knowing how to allocate your capital, which you require money after 30 days, you require money after 30 years or maybe 60 years or maybe something which you are never going to touch in your lifetime. So there it is for infinity. You know, if you're 25 years of age, 26 years of age, understanding all this is not going to be easy, but this is the whole process. Having the focus, having the skills, having the expertise, translating that expertise into action for yourself, then having the ability to have the focus, right? So all those things, and then risk management of knowing where to allocate, what to do. So first of all, for that you need to understand how much is your risk tolerance, then how much of risk you want to take. There is one ability to take risk and one need to take risk. Do you need to take risk, right? Understanding investment tactics, understanding the equity markets, understanding yourself, all this combination, and of course how much you earned in your main thing, right? So focus. So Virat Kohli should focus on cricket now, and he has to find somebody who will concentrate on media. He has to find somebody who will advise him on taxation. He has to create that whole team of wealth. Then only there will be wealth creation. It is not just enough to excel just in your job. It is important that you also set the process in place. So seeking advisors for taxation, for creating wealth, for trading, whatever you want to do. Creating that set of people who will advise you and to whom you will listen, that creates wealth. Thank you.